But my story is
Yeah, I wanted
my
you to get into
yeah,
your
my
chapter.
chapter
It's
is
called
called
yeah, self love, the hardest thing I can
yep,
do. Is that what it is? That
self love, the hardest thing I had to do. And my chapter is about uh challenges in life, experiences, deciding what I was going to do after I healed from different surgeries and not working for a while, and my father passed, and
that. Now I want to go into your book. You are
oh,
also an author.
yes, excuse
I
me.
think it's a collection. They call it an anthology with the.
It is an anthology, but the book itself, the title does not say anthology. Excuse me.
Oh, okay.
Um, it is Fearless Woman Rock,
Okay.
Volume 3. Fearless Woman Rock, Find Courage During the Storm. Um, and the second volume was Livonia Perryman.
Okay.
And Dr. Missy Johnson is also a Barack Obama Leadership Award winner.
Okay.
And she called me in the middle of the night. I've met Dr. Missy a few times. She called me in the middle of the night and she said, I would like for you to be in my book. I'm like, huh? It was a no brainer though, okay? Dr. Missy asked you to be in the book. Sure, I'm going to be in the book. So I was in the book, and that's a whole interesting story. I wrote my chapter the
She
night
called
before.
you. She called you out of the blue and said,
Yeah,
"I'm working on a book, a
yeah,
collection of women authors."
yeah.
And what made her motivate her to
I
decide to choose you to
I
be a
I
part of
did
this?
I did not ask. I never
You
did
didn't.
ask her. I have no idea. I know two people who were in the previous volume, and I had met Dr. Missy a few times, and she was probably aware of my social media platform, but I never asked her why she chose me. I didn't ask her. Somebody referred me. I don't know.
Okay. Okay.
I never asked, but it was a great experience. And of volumes 1, 2, and 3, volume 3 has got the most excitement. It's a wonderful group of ladies, and everyone has very interesting and phenomenal and exciting and empowering messages in their stories. And all of our stories are personal stories about pain to triumph, struggle to survive, and it all depends on the person. We have a lot of different people. One want a beauty pageant, social media influencers, people that have nonprofits, business women. Everybody has a different story as to where they started, the struggle, and where they are now. And it all depends on the person. You might read a story about human trafficking or sex trafficking, but my
Okay.
story is
Yeah, I wanted
my
you to get into
yeah,
your
my
chapter.
chapter
It's
is
called
called
yeah, self love, the hardest thing I can
yep,
do. Is that what it is? That
self love, the hardest thing I had to do.
okay?
And my chapter is about uh challenges in life, experiences, deciding what I was going to do after I healed from different surgeries and not working for a while, and my father passed, and it's a whole big thing. And bottom line is, during this time period of several years, um, what did I want to do next when I was able to? And the conversations I had with my father, who passed away almost 7 years ago now, but during that time he was an encourager, and didn't know that he was trying to psych me up then, but I realize it now. What are you going to do? What are you interested in? How are you going to do this when you get better? How are you going to reach this goal? And I had decided that, okay, I watch the news all the time. I like this. I like that. I like this person. I would like to meet this person. I would like to get involved in this. And these are all similar things that I was involved in when I was undergrad. So it wasn't anything new. Um, and a lot of people don't know that when well, even before, I was volunteering for different organizations and different candidates. And then there was a point where something happened. I got sick and um, almost had my foot amputated. And
Wow.
that was a struggle. And so went through all of that. Long story short, I'm here. I went home in a wheelchair, then graduated to a walker, and I was showing up at events with my walker, and people are like, what happened?" And but I was still there and still doing things, and so it's a story about overcoming, and it's a mindset because you can either let things bring you down and depress you and take control of your mental and your physical, or you can overcome it. And depression is real, struggles are real, and there's no such thing as telling somebody, "Oh, get over it." That doesn't work. That's an insult. You can get over it, but it takes time and you have to change your mindset. And you have to work really, really hard at it. And you see people all the time, "Oh, there's so much pain." And it's a whole thing, and you have to read the story about how I overcame and how I got to where I am, to LaTreace Cash today. The volunteering, the awards, the book, the show. It's a whole thing. Is There's no way to explain this book and my chapter in the book, and it's called Self Love: The Hardest Thing I Had to Do.
Okay. So
You have, yeah.
what do you expect people to get from the chapter that you wrote in the book?
From the chapter that I wrote, I my opinion is is good for men and women, young and old. And I would specifically um, suggest that women read this chapter, and men who are not in the lives of their children, and men who are in their children's lives, because I think that they can really appreciate my chapter and what I talk about in the struggles and how I reference to my father, and it
Okay.
makes a big difference in somebody's life. It will make a big difference in other people's lives. Whether you grew up in a two-parent home or not, you will really, really get this. There's a lot of people that are lacking in certain things in their lives because of how they were brought up. And regardless of how you were raised and what household you were raised in, one or two parent household, you can learn something out of everything, and
Okay.
everything affects you. And this chapter, self love, is universal. And
Okay.
I would recommend highly that people read this book and order this book. And you can order it off of my PayPal. Fearless Women Rock, Volume 3 is the book. The chapter, Self Love: The Hardest Thing I Had to Do. And you can find it on my paypal.me/Fearless LaTreace, $25. That includes shipping.
Okay. So, is that the direct way to get the book? Is the book
Yes.
on other platforms or other bookstores
I
or?
I think it's a link on my Facebook in Marketplace, but I usually just send people to my PayPal.
Okay.
Yeah, I also have Venmo, and it's real easy. LTTC,
Okay.
LTTC on
Is
Venmo. Yeah,
is there an
yeah.
audio version for the book or?
I would have to check on that.
Okay.
I'm not sure yet.
Okay.
I
All
don't
right.
think so. I haven't heard anything about an audio yet. Yeah,
Okay.
we haven't had a meeting in a couple of weeks, but I haven't heard anything about an audio. But get the book directly from me.
Yes. We want people to get the book directly from you, so
Buy
you
the
can
book
get.
directly from me. You will get an
Okay.
autographed copy.
Okay. And I
Buy
will
the book directly from me. You will get an autographed copy.
I'll have the link in our show notes so
Yes,
people
please.
can
Thank you.
people who are in our audience can have a way to purchase your book.
Yeah.
Now, so we talked about your TV show, we talked
Yes.
about your book, and we're
Yeah.
going to go into your community involvement.
Oh,
And I'm curious. Well, I wanted to provide for our audience because everybody may not know exactly what a precinct delegate is, what they do, and what's the process to become a precinct delegate. And you're currently serving your term, is that correct?
yes. I'm in my second
Your
term.
second term. Okay. So explain to our audience, first of all, what is a precinct delegate? What do you do? And then how does one become a precinct delegate if they're even interested?
Okay. To become a precinct delegate, just like any other elected official, you have to sign an affidavit and file it with the city of Detroit. Who is that smiling back there?
No, I'm
Do I
laughing
do?
at.
Huh?
No, I'm laughing at my son. I'm sorry.
Oh, hey son, I don't know him. Hi, show him. I want to see him.
Oh no, he's working on some homework.
Oh,
It's
okay.
okay. Go
Um,
ahead.
so you file an affidavit, and that's the simple part. It's real easy. ID, get it notarized. You file it. Um, your name is on the ballot. People vote for you. I won twice, and I'm excited about that. And I'm considering running for a third term. And so, precinct delegate, basically, to make it real simple, we help people get elected. And everybody does as much or as little as they want. There's not a requirement that you do a lot. Some people do a lot, though. I'm one of those people, and there's other people. They do a lot. They help people in their campaigns, make phone calls, pass out flyers, and this and that. Uh, I reworked precinct delegate to fit my abilities and my strengths and my weaknesses. And so I'm out there with my camera, recording and interviewing people and showing meetings and letting people see this is what's really happening in your community. This is who's really there. This is what somebody actually said without edit. What you see on the news is not all the story. What you see on LaTreace Cash Cam is the real story. This is what really happened, and this is how long this meeting really went, and this is how the public reacted. And I think that that's important, especially when people are trying to get elected. People need to know the truth. People
Okay.
need to know what a person is really about. And there are, I mean, elected officials and candidates, they can't be everywhere, but they're somewhere. Now, when you go to different events and they say the candidates are welcome and certain people never show up to anything, then they become questionable. But they always
Okay.
put their name on the ballot. How are you going to win and nobody sees you anywhere and you're not involved in the community? You have to be seen. People have to know what your goal is, what your intentions are. And if we don't know what it is, how is somebody going to volunteer for you or support you or endorse you when we don't know what you're about? We got to know
Okay.
what you're about.
All right. So just kind of backtrack to make sure I'm following. You said that to become a precinct delegate, you have to sign a sworn affidavit.
Yes.
Now you have to be registered. There's precinct delegates for each political party. Is that correct?
You have precinct delegates that are Republican and Democrat. Yes.
Okay.
And
So
depending on your voting precinct, your voting area, your there's a designation for so many delegates.
okay. All right.
Yeah. And so you vote for those. So you might have 10 people on the ballot for precinct delegate. And this is an example. But your particular area, your particular voting precinct may only allow or allocate three.
Three. Okay.
So those three win with the top
Okay.
votes.
Which
That's an example.
which district do you represent?
I'm not gonna tell you because then people gonna know where I live.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Well, you don't have to. It's
I'm in
okay.
Detroit. I'm
All
in
right. So you're in
Detroit.
Detroit.
I'm
Okay.
in
And then you
Detroit.
said you help with elections and help to spread the word about what the elected officials are doing. Is that
Yes.
okay? Okay.
And that's one of the main reasons why I go to different events and
Events and
yeah, to let people know who's there and what they're talking about and what's happening in the community, and also who is supporting these community efforts, such as the serial killer, D15, which is for fair wages,
fair wages. Okay.
Detroit Action for housing. There's a lot of different groups out there. National Action Network, the Detroit Police Commissioners, the Detroit Charter Commission. Who is there?
Okay.
Who is speaking? What are the questions that the public is asking, and how is the board, the commissioners, responding? That's
Okay.
all very important when they go for an election and for an elected office, in a different area.
All right. Okay. And do you have to get nominated or win in a in your in the 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 party
Precinct delegate.
in the convention, the party convention, or is that a ballot within on the primary or national election or local election
You talking about for precinct delegate?
for precinct
Precinct
delegate?
precinct delegates are 2 terms, and we get elected the same years that the state representatives get
The
elected.
state representatives. Okay.
Yes,
And
and what a lot of people don't know is, um, every election is important. Every election is important. The primary election is important. So you have, um, I'm just trying to think. So you had the primary election, and then you have the main election, and people are like, oh, why didn't so and so's name get on the ballot for this election in August? Well, you didn't. I mean, I'm sorry, in November, you didn't vote in August. So you
Mhm.
didn't vote. That person didn't get enough votes for their name to be on the November election.
Okay.
And that's why every election is important. You
Okay.
have to vote in every election. And that's one of the things as precinct delegate, we have to try and get people to understand. A lot of people don't get it. And there's always that certain sector of the population who thinks, oh, it's a waste of time to vote. No, this election coming up, because of redistricting, is the most important election. And this lawsuit against the state of Michigan is so very important
Right.
because the district, congressional district that I live in right now, for the 12th district, as they have it on the redistricting map right now, it covers Dearborn, and I think it goes west to, I think, Allen Park, but somehow or other, the map zigzag, but it goes north up to Troy. So that's a problem because it's only partially Detroit, mostly Oakland County. So then you have all these people that know nothing about Detroit, have not lived in Detroit, probably never or long time ago. And you have people who are making decisions for Wayne County and making decisions for Detroit when it's a completely different demographic, a different economic status, a different socioeconomic status, different cultural issues. The traffic is different, the schools are different, everything is different just because the communities are different. And so you
Right.
have these districts where people have built a network and they know certain people and they know who is for and not for a community, and you know what they will and will not vote for, and you've built a relationship with them. And so now you've changed the districts and you want this to pass, and that changes everything. How are people going to vote? And
Right.
if you vote, I don't know, let's say they want more bike lanes on every major road in Detroit. We're already sitting here like, why do we have bike lanes? Bike lanes are useless at this point. I mean, that is my personal opinion. That is my personal opinion. We have Detroit is the motor city. Most people drive. We don't need bike lanes. It's cold most of the time. Who's riding a bike in the wintertime? If you want to spend money on increasing the amount of buses and increasing the bus routes so the buses run, I don't know, every 20 minutes consecutively on time. That would be more financially feasible and gainable than putting in bike lanes. Because the bike lanes created more traffic because you reduce the amount of lanes on the street. And
Right.
that's
Right.
something to consider. Whether you're a city council, state rep, Congress, Senate, everything molds together in these different elected officials' offices. Okay.
Right.
And so one decision in the Senate affects a decision in the Congress and the
Right.
state rep and the city. Everybody works together at some point.
Right.
So we need that to be everything to be cohesive. We need our politics to be cohesive. We need our elected officials to work in a cohesive and calm manner.
Okay.
And this redistricting is putting the cities, the towns, the cities, not just Detroit, everybody into an uproar because it's going to change so much. And it's not just uncomfortable, it's going to affect the laws that are made and how they are enforced.
Right. Right.
And that's a big issue.
Hmm.
So we have to wait and see what happens. And I suggest everyone follow social media and follow the news and stay abreast on what is happening with redistricting. Since I'm in Michigan, I will say in Michigan, in the state of Michigan,
All
because
right.
that's a big issue right now.
Yes, it is. Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
it's
Yes.
gonna,
And
yeah,
thank
it's
you
something
for
else.
your service and keeping
Thank you.
everybody educated on what's going on with this redistricting
Thank
issue. So, just going back to just the precinct delegate, do you have to have you know how some elected officials have to have a certain amount of signatures to petition to actually run, or or is it a different process?
No, for precinct delegate, I did not have any signatures. You signed an affidavit, a notarized affidavit. Of course, show your ID to verify that's you, and your name is on the ballot automatically. Now, I don't know if people pass out flyers or anything and say
Yeah, how
vote.
did you campaign?
I didn't.
So you just signed affidavit, had it notarized, your name was on the ballot, and you won. You didn't. There was no. How does that happen? If nobody, if nobody know who you is, you didn't
Well,
send an email or campaign. Hey, vote for it. Put it
I
on
look.
Facebook or something.
I I did not send an email. I didn't send a text. I did not make a flyer. One thing to remember is that when you're applying for your name is on the ballot for a precinct delegate, you're on the ballot for your voting precinct. Your
Right.
voting precinct, not for the whole city, not
Right.
for
For
your
your
neighbor.
voting, for your
Yeah,
district voting precinct.
just for your area. And so one, I have a unique name. And
Okay.
I think that I am the only LaTreace Cash in the world.
Okay.
I am the only LaTreace
And
Cash in the
maybe they
world.
think you have money because your last name is Cash or something, and
You know
that's
what?
maybe,
I
and that's
accept
why they
all
voted,
donations, and you
and
can
they
send
voted
it
for
on
you.
to my PayPal. I look, you can send $1,000 right now to my PayPal. I will be happy. You can send it to me on Cash App, $ LaTreace Cash, just like it is down there at the bottom of the screen, $ LaTreace Cash. I will take your donations and just say gift. Just put
Hmm.
gift at the bottom. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you must have. Did you run against anyone, or how did it?
Oh no. Precinct delegate. I'm not the only precinct delegate in my precinct.
No, I know that you said there's so many,
Yeah.
but it's almost like you're saying if your name is on a ballot, there's a high chance of you winning the position. Maybe people just don't know about it, or they don't know about
I
it now
I
because it's going to be on
I
that
didn't
channel.
know. And I'm gonna tell you a quick story. I don't know if you're familiar with Abena Hogan. God rest her soul. She passed away last year. Um, always going to a lot of meetings and showing up to a lot of things. And Abena walks up to me in her raspy voice. She says, "Here, gal, sign this." And she shoves it at me. What is it? It's for precinct delegate. What is that? You'll find out when you get there. And that's how I became a precinct delegate. And then I signed up for a second term.
Okay, all
And
right.
yeah, so the first term, that's when I won 2019 Precinct Delegate of the Year award at the African American Leadership Awards. They held it that year at the Charles H. Wright African American Museum. Yeah, that
Okay.
was my first term as a precinct delegate. And I was shocked. I didn't even know I was nominated. I was like, what?
So, what is the tell our audience what is the top three official duties for the precinct delegate?
Precinct delegates, get people to vote, register people to vote, register people to vote, register people to vote, explain to people the reason why they need to vote,
Okay.
encourage people to vote, volunteer on campaigns, get people elected. That's either by getting petitions signed, getting names on,
Okay.
names on the petitions, so they can register, put their name in. Because some people, they have to have so many signatures. Thank you. I'm sorry. You need signatures.
Right.
Uh, and signatures, hand out flyers. Some people door knock. Some people make phone calls. Some people work at the campaign offices, making phone calls, flyers,
Okay.
organizing the field team. It's a lot to being a precinct delegate. And just because you see somebody working at a campaign office, trust me, believe, most times they're not getting paid, because those people that are campaigning for office, they probably don't have a big budget.
Right.
That's
They
why
don't.
they're always raising money. And you
Right.
always need to raise money because you're campaigning or you're an elected official. Elected officials are not rich.
Right. Right.
In my
Okay.
opinion, I don't think they're rich.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So that's basically the duties. And then communicate with the elected officials and the constituents, informing them of what's happening in the public, and this and that. And that's where my videos came in handy.
Okay.
This is what's happening out here, and the elected officials will follow my page and see what's happening, watch the videos, and they'll respond to the
Okay.
videos. Yeah.
Yes. On the cash cam. On the cash
Yeah,
cam.
on the
The
cash
cash
cam.
cam.
And
Yeah.
then when I say they responded to the videos, they didn't respond to me. They responded to the public by taking action, creating a bill, showing up at an event, and in reverse, when the state representative Cynthia Johnson here in Detroit had that whole big thing with Rudy Giuliani, and they had this hearing, and she had words with Rudy Giuliani, and she admonished him, and she's got temporarily suspended from some of the committees that she was on, and she received hundreds of death threats. Uh, People in the community rallied together, and they had a protest at her house. A good protest, a protest in support of Cynthia, against people giving her death threats and showing that we loved her, we support her, and we're going to be there for her. And eventually that was resolved. People
Right.
can Google that and find out exactly what happened with Rudy Giuliani. But it was a lot of people there, and I do have that video on my Facebook page, and I might have uploaded it to my YouTube. I
Okay.
am Cash Cam. I'm not sure. I can't
I
remember if
am
I
cash
uploaded it.
cam. Okay.
Yeah, but it,
Okay.
it was one of the better protests in the city. It was a
Okay.
really good one, and it was good to see that so many people loved the state rep Cynthia Johnson and supported her.
Okay. Okay. As we wrap up, a few other questions.
Yes,
Again, thank you for your service, and you're doing a great job letting people know about the power of the vote and what's going on in the community. And want to admonish you for your service.
thank you.
Um, a few other questions before we wrap things up. What would you say is one word that best describe how you do what you do? Whether it's a TV show, you're being an author, or being involved as a precinct delegate.
Describe me in one word.
Yeah, if you could, or maybe one sentence, describe the. How would you describe the way you
I'll
do
give you a
business?
couple words. You
Okay.
ready?
Hmm.
Fearless, courageous, eccentric. Did I say creative? Um, Networker. Um, Communicator.
Okay. Communicator, courageous, networker, creator,
Yes, and
fearless,
eccentric.
eccentric. Okay. What do you mean by when you say eccentric?
I just beat to my own drum. It's like I'm that person. If you invite me somewhere, I will show up by myself. I'm not gonna call a bunch of people. Hey, girl, come in. I'll tell you about it. If you're gonna go, you'll call me and say you coming. If you're not going, I'm still gonna be there.
Okay.
And that's me. I have a lot of
Go by the
people I
beat
know
by your
who
own
are
drum.
high. Yeah, beat to my own drum. I've got yelled
Okay.
at many a times about being out till 3, 4, 5 in the morning going to an event by myself, and I've had people call me. Take your butt home. Okay, I'm on my way home. Just stay on the phone till I get in the door. Don't you do that. Okay. So and it's okay. People love you. That's your friends, and it's okay. It's no problem with it at all. Yeah,
Okay.
I love
All
the
right.
community, the politics, the being a precinct delegate, the people that I've met outside of politics, and the hip hop community, and I've won awards from them and get a lot of love and support. And the thing is, they love that I put the information out there,
Okay.
and yeah, and that's the best thing, that I can give people information unedited. And if anybody wants to talk to me and they want to go on camera, people know that they can call me, send me a message. I'll talk to them. If they want it out there, we can put it out there, because it's not about me. It's about their message and what they need resolved. And it's their resolution. It's not mine.
Great, great. Any announcements or upcoming events you'd like to share with our audience?
Oh, it's always something going on. Uh, let's see. I would tell everybody, um, if you're interested in being a precinct delegate, uh, you can register to be a precinct delegate. You can go on DetroitMI.gov. I think it's the Wayne County Clerk, or you can go in there and find out more information, or you can Google United Precinct Delegate on Facebook and on Instagram and send a message, and you can find out. I had to find the email. I don't have the email. Um, there are different groups that you can join. I would suggest National Action Network, the Black Caucus, D15, D for Detroit, D15, Fair Wages, Detroit Community Action, Detroit Action, um, I'm sorry, not Detroit, the Democratic Party. I am a Democrat registered. I suggest people join a political party, and you get your membership and you get invited to different events, different meetings. You learn different things. You might even get some free classes, especially they have free classes now about how to become a precinct delegate and what a precinct delegate is. Um, I can put that information on my Instagram and on my Facebook page, and on my YouTube if somebody wants that information, and they can go and look at it. I don't. It's a lot to remember, but it is United Precinct Delegates. You can look it up on Facebook. United Precinct Delegates. You can Google United Precinct Delegates. It is part of the Democratic Party, but to be a precinct delegate, you can be a Republican, you can be a Democrat, you can be a independent. It is no specific party affiliation. And there's a lot going on. It's a lot of stuff.
Okay. What
Right now,
about
people,
any announcements about your TV show? Anything that?
my TV show, my TV show. If you want to be a guest on my show and you started a business during the pandemic and you are a new entrepreneur, please reach out to me on Instagram. DM me, cash underscore LaTreace underscore original. And you can DM me. Okay. And it'll also go to my business suite or my Facebook. They're linked together. Send me a message. Say, hey, I want to be on there. Tell me what you do. Send me your website or your social media pages, and we can talk. I want to schedule people soon, 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 soon.
Okay.
And I have some other ideas for some other things coming up. And I do have another project coming up soon, and I will not talk about that right now until it's set in stone, but it's something even bigger than Fearless Woman Rock, and it's even bigger than my TV show right now. Can you imagine that, Charles?
Wow. That's
And
great.
it's bigger, much, much, much bigger.
Looking forward to
Much
hearing that
bigger.
announcement. Now, I didn't know you
Yeah.
had it. I didn't know you had a YouTube channel. What is your YouTube channel name? So I want to make sure I subscribe to that.
Okay. So, my YouTube, I am Cash,
Mhm.
Cam, CAMM, space between each word.
Okay.
My Instagram is cash underscore LaTreace underscore original. My Facebook is LaTreace Cash. I have a public and a private, of course. It's going to take you to my public page. Um, and you can see me on Facebook Watch. Just put in my name and you'll come up with my videos. I have some shorts on there also.
Okay.
Uh, Instagram, I have reels on there, and I am always uploading videos. I have two reels that kind of sort of viral on Instagram. One, I just did a Martin Luther King video with the Kanye West song. So just always doing things and fiddling around and playing with the uh what do you call it? The statistics. What do you call the statistics? The you know what I'm talking
Algor-
about.
the
Analog.
algorithm, analog, algorithm.
Algorithm.
Yeah,
Always playing around with the
with the
algorithm
algorithm. Yeah.
and trying to figure it out. And note to everybody out there, Instagram is where to go.
Hmm.
If you want your information out there, you want your company out there, you want your videos and your reels out there, Instagram. Then TikTok if it's something small. Depending on what it is, you can share your Instagram and it'll automatically go to your Facebook, but people don't really watch stuff on Facebook anymore. They say Instagram is for young people. Instagram is for everybody. Go to Instagram.
Yes, yes. Thank you, thank
Instagram.
you.
Yeah, Instagram.
Well, LaTreace Cash, it's been a pleasure having you on our show. You shared a lot of information about community involvement, about being a precinct delegate. You shared about your TV show. We want to
Yes.
encourage entrepreneurs who recently started a business during the pandemic to reach out to her to be a possible featured guest. You shared about your YouTube channel. You have a lot of things going on. I'm wishing you well. I know you'll be successful because your heart is in the right place. You want to serve and help people and bring
Yes.
awareness. So
Yes.
thanks again for your time on
Thank
this
you.
podcast.
Thank you. It's so much fun being here. It's a pleasure seeing you and talk to you. It's been a long time. So thank you for having me. Detroit Metro Plug.